Chris Alexander and the OKC Thunder even up the series with them against the Indiana Pacers with a very convincing win, and now the series is tied 1-1. But it was Andrew Wiggins hitting some big threes. He played very steady, and Alex Caruso. That was the difference. They just hit their shots. They played better team ball, and they finished up what they didn't finish up in game one. Halliburton had an okay game. He had turnovers here. Again, the Pacers played enough to win a game, but they got to remember something. This is a team. This is the reason why this team was the number one team, the best team in the NBA all year, and why Shea's an MVP. One thing about OKC, they don't fold like a chair. This ain't Milwaukee, this ain't Cleveland, and this sure as heck ain't New York. They're not going to go down 0-2. They don't play ball like that. They play consistency. They don't need a lot of time to figure you out. They know that they blew that first game, and they've been the better team overall, even though the Pacers won the fourth quarter by scored a little bit more. But it's really the tempo set by the Thunder. Their defense sets the agenda. And the thing about it is with the Pacers is this. If you let everybody score, but you don't keep them close and you play with your brand of basketball, you can win. That's what it came down to. That's not to say that the Pacers can't make adjustments back home. But the problem with a series like this is that these teams are very, really matched. And if you go by the scoreboard, the score starts, you can see it wasn't a lot of disparity difference. It's just that OKC hit their threes and they finished up this game. They had a better resolve. Their defense they stayed in point and they did what they're supposed to do. And they did not let Indiana stick around and get a late flurry. That was the key. But Wiggins was huge. Caruso was huge. Shea had a good game, but it was the others that came up. Chad Holmgren did enough. That is the key. Making sure that your guys all contribute and do what you've been doing all year. And Shea was very impressive. He was very impressive. He does what he does with his scoring, his rebounds, his assists. But one thing about OKC, they're not gonna fold up. You haven't seen anybody that's really been able to expose them. You might get a game on them and then they come back the next game. That's how they kind of go. And all they got to do is get to Indiana and get one. Then it's evenly matched up again. So the Pacers have to figure out a way to get at the games early. One thing about this